Welcome to English Without Limits. In today's lesson, we're going to learn about telling time. We will talk about clocks, and we will talk about watches. And we will also learn how to express what time of day it is. Later in the lesson, we will learn how to make a watch for yourself, and we can use it to practice telling time. If you're going to do that, you will need some colored paper, and you will need scissors, and you will need some glue. So you might like to get those things together now. I hope you will enjoy the lesson. In our last lesson, we talked about money. We learned that a dollar can be made up of different combinations of coins. A dollar can be made up of 4 quarters, or it can be made up of 10 dimes, 10-cent pieces. Or you can have different combinations. And we also learned how to combine bills and coins to make the price of something that we might want to buy. And we looked at things that had different prices, and we used pretend money that we could combine to buy these things. So let's join the class as they review some of these things. If you still have the pieces of paper from last lesson where you made pretend money, it would be good to use that now.
So can anybody tell me one way they know you can make a dollar using coins? Does anybody know?
4 quarters.
4 quarters? Did you see that on the board? Yeah, that's the first one we have here. So you can make $1 bill by having 4 quarters. What if you just had 2 quarters?
50 cents.
50 cents. Good job. And then another way you can make a dollar? Does anyone know?
10 cents.
10, what are these ones called? Do you remember? Dimes. 10 dimes. So 10 makes $1. What about this one? What do you think 5 nickels makes? Can everyone see that?
50.
50? Is there any other guesses? 25? Yeah. If we have 5 nickels, that one makes a quarter. So, just like that.
Do you remember in our last lesson how we used different combinations of the pretend money to buy things? Well, let's review some of that now. $1.25 would be one $1 bill and one 25-cent bill. $3.50 can be made up with 3 $1 bills and 2 25-cent pieces. $4.65 can be made up with 4 $1 bills or $1 coins, 2 25-cent coins, 1 10-cent coin, and 1 5-cent coin. $5.75 can be made up of 1 $5 bill and 3 25-cent pieces. 1 $5 bill and 3 25-cent pieces. $5.95 can be made up of 1 $5 bill, 3 25-cent coins, and 2 dimes, 2 10-cent coins. $7.45 can be made up of 1 $5 bill, 2 $1 bills or $1 coins, 1 25-cent coin, and 2 10-cent coins. Now it's your turn. Let's see if you can figure out the different combinations of bills and coins that you would need to make the price of something else that you haven't seen yet. I will give you the price of something, and then I will not tell you the correct answer. You must check with your teacher to see if you are correct. I will give you the price of something, and then I will pause and see if you can get the correct answer. You might want to pause the video after each one of these. All right, are you ready? Let's begin. This canned drink sells for 85 cents. 85 cents. This cup sells for $8.45. $8.45. These headphones sell for $6.75. $6.75. This DVD sells for $7.20. $7.20. This picture sells for $3.85. $3.85. Do you know what time it is? Well, if you know how to tell time, you probably can say what time it is. Maybe you can tell time in your first language. We're going to learn about telling time in English. Knowing how to tell time is important because if you can't do that, you might get the time for something wrong. And then you would show up early or show up late, or you would miss something altogether. These things are important. So let's join the class as they begin to learn about telling time.
Good morning, class.
Good morning.
I was almost late today. My watch broke, and I thought I was going to be late for class. You see it's broken there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys know what time it is?
12.
Maybe it's about 12?
12:55.
12:55. Are you telling time on my clock here?
Yeah.
Do you guys know how to tell time?
Yes.
Telling time, yeah. It's hard sometimes, isn't it?
No.
No? You never have trouble? Okay, well, we'll try and come up with some hard questions for you later. We're going to talk about clocks today and about how to tell time. So I have a really big clock here. We're going to review a little bit about it. What do we know about time? Do we know anything about time? We need a clock. We need a clock to know what time it is. Yeah? So there are two types of clocks.
Watch.
There's a watch. And is there a different type of clock like this that you don't see the numbers in a circle?
Yeah. Yes.
Does anyone know what it's called?
No.
Digital. It's a digital clock. So if you see a digital clock, it's kind of like what you have on your watch sometimes with just the colored numbers. They're like electric. You can see them. Digital clocks. Okay. Well, let's look at this clock here. How many numbers on here? 12. So does that mean there's 12 hours in a day?
No, 24 hours.
Yeah? No, sorry. What did you say?
24 hours.
24 hours in a day. So there's two of these. So the clock goes around twice to get 24 hours in a day. So what does each number represent?
1 hour.
1 hour. Good job, Pishido. So each number on this clock represents 1 hour. So we have 12 hours and then 24 hours in a day. Does anybody know what these hands are for? This big hand. This big hand tells us the minutes. The big hand tells us the minutes, and the little hand tells us the seconds.
1 minute. Hour.
The hour. Good job, Nate. The second hand, the little one, this one tells us what hour it is. And what does this guy do?
Second.
This one. This one moves with the seconds. So it's really fast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if this big one tells us the minutes, so if we're telling the time and it says it's 3, this is the hour, and this one's on the 1, does that mean it's 3 and 1 minute?
No,
5 minutes.
And 5 minutes. Okay. So if it's on 2, does that mean 5 minutes? 10 minutes. So these ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these markers on the clock, they go in minutes, and they're in increments of 5, right? So how many minutes is this one? 5.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
So 60.
60. So how many minutes are in an hour?
16.
60 minutes in an hour. So each one tells us 5 minutes. Good job, you guys. Okay, so if it's on the 3 and it's at the 10 minutes, it's 3:10. How do I know if it's the morning or the night? Nate, do you want to say it a little louder?
AM, PM.
AM and PM. Good job. So which one is the morning? AM. And which one is the evening? PM, or the afternoon, right?
Yes.
So our clock will tell us when it's morning, when it's noon, when it's afternoon, when it's evening, and when it's nighttime. What time is usually the morning in? If we start at midnight, 12, until 12, right. So lunchtime is usually at 12 noon. Is 12 noon AM or PM? PM. Good job. And so if we're going all the way to the next 12 at midnight, is midnight AM or PM?
PM.
Is it
No, AM.
AM. Good job. So noon at 12 noon, that's PM, and at 12 midnight, that's AM. Good job, you guys. Okay. So we know what the big hand does. We know what the small hand does. What about if we have the time? This is the minutes. What if this hand is on the 6?
2:30.
It's 2:30. So this is the 30-minute mark, right? If I said that it's 3:30, is that the same thing?
No.
No. Tama, what do you think? It's 3:30. So 3:30 and 3:30 aren't the same thing? Does anyone else have another guess? Who thinks it's the same? Nobody. It is. It's actually the same thing. So if I say it's 3:30, that means it's 3:30 because it's halfway through the hour, right? If the hour has 60 minutes and 30, then it's the it's 3:30. And it's the same thing if I say this right here. If I move this to this one. If it's 3:15 and I say it's 3:15, is that the same thing?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, because these are the quarter marks. We have a 3, we have a 6 is half, and then we have the 9. So if we go over here, we move this one, and it's, does anyone know what time this is?
4:45.
3:45, or it's 3:45, because this is the 45 marker. So there's 2 ways of telling time. We can say what the hour is, or sometimes we can say what it is minus that time. So it's maybe 3:45. We go to 4, and then we take away 15. Okay, so there's 2 ways to tell it. What are some of the phrases we use with time? If I say, I'm in a hurry, does anybody know what that means? A hurry. Quickly, yes, I need to go somewhere quickly. I'm in a hurry, I'm in a really big rush, I've got to go, I'm in a hurry. I got to go fast, that means my time is limited. What if your mother says, don't be late?
That's good.
Does anyone get told that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? What does late mean? Yeah, you're going to run out of time, right? Don't be late for the bus. Don't be late for school. And if you go to school and say you are late, say you missed the bell, your teacher might tell you you're tardy. Tardy and late mean the same thing. You're a little bit late. But if you come right on the hour, say you have to be somewhere right at 12, and you're right there, right on the hour, we might say you're being prompt. You're right on time. You're right on the hour. Or on time. Someone will just say you're on time. Okay. So if I'm walking down the street and my watch is broken and I need to know the time, I might ask somebody, "Excuse me, Pashado, what time is it?"
1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock. So you'll say, "It's 1 o'clock." Nay, if I say, "What time is it?"
2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock. You could say it's 2 o'clock. What if I say, Tamla, what if I ask you, what time is the concert?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Do you need to say it's 6?
No.
No, you don't need to. So if someone asks you when something begins, you don't need to say it's. Only if they ask you what time it is. So if someone says, what time is it? You need to say, it is 2 o'clock or it is 1 o'clock. Just like that.
Did you understand what the teacher was saying about the different words we use to tell time? Let's review some of these together now. This is what we call the clock face. The clock face. We have numbers on it, and this helps us to tell time. On the clock face, there are 2 hands. The big hand tells us the minutes. The small hand tells us the hours. And sometimes there is a third hand that goes very quickly. That's for measuring the seconds. When the minute hand, the big one, is straight up, we say that is 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. That's on the hour. We say o'clock for that. When the minute hand points to the 3, we say that's quarter after. Quarter after, or 1:15, or 2:15, or something like that. When it's pointing straight down, we say that's half past, or we could say 1:30 or 2:30. When that minute hand points to the number 9, we say it's quarter to, or 1:45 or 2:45, whatever it might be. Now, we also have digital clocks. And sometimes when you read a digital clock, you don't say quarter after or half past or quarter to. You just say the time in numbers. So this would be 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And these numbers would mean 12:15. These numbers would mean 12:30. And these numbers would say 12:45. We don't say quarter to or quarter after when we're using digital time. Now when we have a time after the hour and it's less than 10, we would say something like it's 12:05 or 12:07. When the time is less than 10, sometimes we pronounce the 0 out loud as O.